Coming up tonight, a 38-year-old Aetos officer is charged with robbing a moneylender while carrying a gun in his pocket.
156 close contacts of the vaccinated migrant worker who got infected have so far tested negative for COVID-19.
And still one behind Japan, Singapore has the world's second most powerful passport. This is the Straits Times Newsnight. I'm Chiao Suen.
Good evening, I'm Dylan Ang. A gun was used in a robbery for the first time in 15 years here in Singapore, and the perpetrator, an Aetos auxiliary police officer, was charged today under the Arms Offences Act.
The robbery took place on Monday afternoon at 3:30 p.m. when 38-year-old Mahadi Muhammad Mukhtar approached staff at moneylender OT Credit, located at Block 135 Jurong Gateway Road. According to initial investigations by the police, OT Credit staff was shown a handwritten note that read, "This is a robbery, don't shout. I've got a gun in my pocket, put all the money in the bag." Mahadi was allegedly carrying a firearm during the robbery but did not reveal it. The staff purportedly handed him the cash before he fled with more than $24,000 in cash. He was arrested within 5 hours of the robbery.
If convicted, Mahadi will face life imprisonment and no fewer than 6 strokes of the cane. Police said investigations also showed that he purportedly deposited part of the stolen cash in a bank account of a female friend, Noshana Muhammad Taib, who was charged this afternoon with 1 count of receiving stolen property. 8 other individuals have been arrested in relation to the robbery. Now, new details on the case of the 23-year-old Indian work permit holder in Singapore who tested positive for COVID-19 after being fully vaccinated.
Transport Minister Ong Ye Kung revealed that the man is a port worker who goes on board ships to secure and unsecure containers. Wearing protective gear, such workers are not allowed to interact with the ship crew. Here are the key findings so far. The patient is carrying antibodies after his COVID-19 vaccination, has no symptoms, and his positive results came from a rostered routine testing.
156 of his close contacts were quarantined and all of them have tested negative so far. More than 1,500 other residents staying in the same dormitory in Brani Terminal Avenue have also tested negative. Now, fully vaccinated since March 4th, the port worker tested positive on April 7th and was immediately isolated and taken to the National Centre for Infectious Diseases. Mr. Ong said that while it is possible for vaccinated individuals to be infected, he encouraged everyone to take the vaccine when it is their turn to protect themselves and others.
Now, looking at the latest COVID-19 numbers, 1 community case was among the 27 new infections confirmed today. The remaining 26 were all imported and had been placed on stay-home notice on arrival here.
Now, for allegedly leaking Singapore's daily COVID-19 case numbers 22 times last year, a former civil servant was charged today. Zhao Zheng, who was the deputy lead of the Ministry of Health's Data Management Unit, faces 24 charges under the Official Secrets Act. She was arrested in April last year for allegedly leaking the confidential information. She was also charged along with her friend Tang Lin, who is accused of soliciting wrongful communication of information by asking Zhao to help her check on the status of a COVID-19 patient.
The Ministry of Health has appointed a 12-member committee to address issues related to health insurance. This follows a recent spat between the Singapore Medical Association and the Life Insurance Association, but this was over insurers having panel doctors. The committee will recommend improvements to manage rising costs in the healthcare insurance system and guide the establishment of platforms to address complaints and conflicts arising from healthcare insurance claims.
Now, if like us, you can't wait to travel again, here's some good news. Transport Minister Ong Ye Kung said today that Singapore and Hong Kong are finalising details of the quarantine-free air travel bubble. In a statement, he also said that plans will hopefully be announced soon. This comes a day after Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam said that she expects an early indication of agreement between the two sides.
Now, speaking of travelling and using your passport, Singapore's passport remains the second strongest in the world after Japan's. Looking at how countries would fare in a post-pandemic world, the Henley Passport Index shows no change in the top 5 from the previous year. Japan firmly at the top with its citizens able to visit 193 destinations visa-free. Trailing by one spot is Singapore, with access to 192 destinations. In third place, Germany and South Korea. Italy, Finland, Spain and Luxembourg come in at fourth, and Denmark and Austria are in fifth position.
Let's take a look at what's been trending on social media today. If this doesn't whet your appetite, I don't know what will. The world's best restaurant, 3 Michelin star Mirza, will run a 3-month pop-up at Members Club Straits Clan with chef Mauro Colagreco at the helm. From May 14 to August 11, guests can choose from either a 6-course lunch priced from $388 or a 9-course dinner from $488. The menu and the pop-up's interior will incorporate local ingredients and flavors. Reservations can be made from 9 a.m. tomorrow for club members and from next Tuesday for non-members who register their interest in advance. Bon appetit!
A star-studded virtual concert featuring the likes of Jennifer Lopez and the Foo Fighters, all to raise money for COVID-19 vaccines. Streaming globally on May 8th, Vax Live, the concert to reunite the world, will be hosted by singer Selena Gomez. The event will also campaign for fair and equal access to vaccines for all. COVAX aims to secure 2 billion vaccine doses for lower-income countries by the end of 2021.
A new experience in cinemas, that's what interactive crime thriller Late Shift aims to do, as viewers can control the protagonist via a mobile app. The movie follows a part-time parking attendant who finds himself embroiled within London's criminal underworld. How does it work? Viewers will have to scan a QR code with the Control Movie app before the movie begins. And when it's time to make a decision, will be prompted to select between 2 choices. There are 180 choice points in the film, which lead to one of 7 different endings. The majority vote will then be taken into account since you'll be watching it with others. Surely something that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Screenings start from April 22nd at selected Golden Village outlets.
After a year of delays, the countdown continues. We are just 100 days away from the Tokyo Olympics. Now, the Olympic flame is on its way across Japan, and athletes around the world are ramping up training, just as fans are finally allowing themselves to get excited. But even as we close in on the highly anticipated sporting event, several questions remain unanswered amid uncertainties over the pandemic, including how many spectators will be allowed into venues and what revisions will be made to participants' COVID-19 health protocols. These concerns have been amplified amidst Japan's recent surge in COVID-19 cases, with some parts of the country coming under stricter restrictions as numbers continue to soar.
And that wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos.
You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.